Good morning, stampers and crafters. Welcome to Tina's Crafty Ink Spot. Thank you for joining me today. I have a fun little card for you. I made this for a card swap, but a couple of my team members really wanted me to do a tutorial on how I did it and how simple it is. And it's our high wire hippo. Yes, she's dancing on a high wire, and yeah, you got it, she's a wobbler. So we're going to make this little card today, and we're just going to jump right in and go for it. We're going to make a couple little modifications to this, but basically we're going to do the whole hippo. I'm going to go over the coloring and everything with you. So we are going to use the Hippest Hippos set. Now this is a Sale-A-Brations set. Celebration is coming to us in just 4 days. In Celebrations with $100 order. So with Celebrations, every $50 you spend, you get a free item. So if you spend $100, you can get these adorable little hippos and coordinating dies. Look at those. Aren't they fun? You got a little boat, umbrella, little tub, and oh my god, little goggles, and it's just too cute. You got flowers, you got birthday hats, so this will work for any occasion. But this is a good deal, you know, the stamp and die set free with $100. Okay, stop sailing. I know I don't do sales. Remember I told you the other day, a lot of times I'll take a stamp set and I'll stamp multiple images and then die cut them so that I have them for later. That's what we'll be using today. I've got the flowers, I've got several of the little snorkel and tubs and everything. So we need a couple tubs. Now on these tubs, on this original one, I did color them. But then I figured out if you cut them out in silver foil, how adorable are those? Alright, so we're going to use those. Then I need, what else do we need? We need an umbrella. So I'm going to pull out an umbrella. Oh, I've already got a bumblebee, so we've got a bumblebee there. What else do we need? Oh, we need one of our hippos, and I'll pull out the flowers as we put them on the project. I die cut several flowers in different colors, and the little grass or stems, whatever you want to use that for. So I'll set that up here for some of those. And let's grab our dancing hippo. She is so cute. I mean, who doesn't love a hippo in a tutu? Okay, so, and see how simple that is when you have a bunch already die cut? You can just grab them and go. So I'm going to put these back in here. And we're going to color some of the things. We've got our tubs already done. I do need to pop out a piece of, you know, where the die cut. I don't even know where my tweezers are. Guess I better get them, huh? Let me grab my tweezers. Apparently, oh, there they are. I'm sorry. Let's just poke out the little part of that. So that made those quick and easy. I think I already did a tutorial on coloring these with Stampin' Blends, where I used smoky slate, a little bit of Winkastella to make the metal shine. Well, we're just going to use these. So I'll try to link to that tutorial if I can find it. I did it several weeks ago, but I'll try to find that. So let's color our little hippo first. So we're going to bring out our smoky slate. You need your color lifter and some polished pink for her tutu. Okay. Let me see if I can zoom this in a little for you. There we go. Let's try to make sure we stay in the film here. So I'm going to take my dark smoky slate And since it's a small image, I'm going to go ahead and use the bullet tip. And let's add some shadows. So we know her nose has got a little shadow there. Maybe one side of her head. And add a little bit of shadow up here. When you do your coloring, your first set of colors where you're putting your dark down, all you're doing is making your roadmap to start. Remember, her little tutu is over her body, so there's going to be some shading underneath there. Put a little under her chin here. There we go. Look at that. Isn't she adorable? Okay. Now we're going to take our light smoky slate they're really quite quick and simple to color. I think for the nose and the tummy, let me go grab my gray granite markers. Let me do that. Grab gray granite. But while this is wet, let's take our color lifter and add some highlights, some lighter areas here, maybe a little on her forehead, and maybe some here on the bottom part of her arm. All we're doing is creating our third kind of highlighted color with using the color lifter, okay? And we need to hit that a couple times and then let it set, because then you'll see how it kind of starts lifting like it's supposed to. So with our gray granite, let's do her belly and nose. With the bullet. So we've got a little bit of shading already there. Bring it around a little. Then I kind of do, you know how hippos have their nose big. So I'm going to add a little bit of shading right here. Maybe a little shading along the side. Okay, now we'll bring in our light gray granite. Make sure you go all the way into that shading so you can draw it out and blend it. It's just a little, subtle difference in gray. Going all the way into that so it'll blend it really well. Alrighty, now we're going to take our color lifter and lighten up our lightest areas here, which should be right here. Highlighting that those nostrils are kind of sticking up a little. Maybe a little on the belly here. Alrighty, there you go. You know what? I'm going to put a little belly button on her. I'm just going to use my dark smoky slate. Let's put a little belly button. How cute is that, right? If you need to touch up any of your dark areas, now's the time to do it. if you just add a little more contrast. It's a good thing to go over and layer your blends. Layering your blends just adds a little something extra. There we go. Now let's color her little shoes. Just going to grab my light polished pink. I'm going to color those little shoes. Alright, let's color our tutu skirt. So I want to make it look really ruffled. So I'm going to take my dark polished pink, and I'm going to, do our darkest, which is right up against her, real thin line. And then in between the ruffles here, put some dark. See how that kind of defines it just a little bit? Because that means this part of the ruffle is sticking up. Now we'll take our light polished pink and go over that. Okay, that comes out good just like that, but what we're going to do is bring in our color lifter, and we're going to highlight the very top of those ruffles, the lightest area. Just hit it 1 or 2 times with your color lifter. That'll make it even highlighted more. And voila, your little hippo is done. Now if you want, I have a black gel marker I use. You can find them like the white jelly rolls, is just the black. And I'm going to highlight her nostrils a little. I'll get my pen working here. Maybe her mouth. Over her eyes a little. And there you go. Oh, I forgot to do her little toes, so let's just bring in our dark smoky slate and those little toenails. There you go. Alrighty, we're going to set her aside and let her dry. Now we're going to make our umbrella to match. So let's grab our dark polished pink. And this has this dye, it's so cool, it's got embossing on it too. Let me see if that'll focus. I don't know if we can see it, but there's embossed lines on here. It's adorable. We're going to follow those embossed lines with our dark polished pink. Let's go ahead and do the edges. Okay, let's bring in our light polished pink. Get it in. Oops, I went the lid to my marker. Okay, we'll do the same with our blender. We'll go right to the center of those lightest areas to make it look like it's popped up. Okay, bring in our black Stampin' Right. Color our handle here. And there you go, you have your umbrella and your hippo done already. Set those aside. We've got our barrels done already. Let's do our Bumblebee. So I'm going to color the body yellow, leaving the wings white. Bring in your Stampin' Right and draw some stripes for the bee. Look at that. And then we're just going to add a touch of Wink of Stella to his wings. Make some kind of shimmer. There you go. Your Bumblebee is done too now. Let's move that over there. That one's going to be a hard one to keep track of. Now let's do our, we have an A2 card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so it's 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. So there's our basic white card base. Let's do our background sheet. Just going to bring in this little Stamperetta sheet so I don't have so much ink on my workspace, make it hard for the camera to see. So we're going to use Parakeet Party. I love this bright, vibrant green. And we're going to use some balmy blue. Bring in your blending brushes, and let's start with the blue. So we're going to go about 2/3 of the way down. So maybe start so you know where you're going. This is going to be a really subtle background, so you don't have to put a lot of work into it. You know, about need to re-ink my balmy blue. I use it quite a bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. The sky is not a perfect blue, and all we're trying to do is give the illusion of a bright sunny day that she's out practicing her high wire act. Now, if your ink pad is really inky, remember to tap it a couple times before you hit your paper to avoid blotches. Okay, now we're going to bring in our Parakeet Party to create our grass. We go right up. You can even go over your little area there of the blue. It's just going to create a third color for you. And that's about all you need to do right there. You could go crazy with the background. You could add clouds. You could do all kinds of fun stuff. But we want our focus to be on our dancing hippo. Okay, so now let's get our barrels on. I'm going to show you how I did that. So we have 2 barrels, and we're going to bring in some baker's twine. I think I'm just going to use the darker blue so it kind of shows up. So here's how I did this. I got another sheet here. Let me move that. I'm going to take these two, and I'm just going to flip them over. We know kind of where they're lined up to where they'll stay on the sheet. You've got those little handles. Then we're going to grab some glue dots. Take a glue dot and put it on this side of each handle. Oops. we'll cut a little piece of baker's twine. Oh, I guess I need my scissors, don't I? So where's everybody at? Is it really hot where you're at? We went from like 60s to 90s, it seemed like overnight. Just going to cut a little piece of this baker's twine. I'm going to stick it to the glue and put those about where they need to be and pull that twine across tight and lay it over that other glue dot. I'm going to go ahead and trim the excess. At least I think I am. Okay, there we go. Now let's bring in some dimensionals. Make sure you put a dimensional where it's at least holding down that wire or the baker's twine. And it just keeps it staying on. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to lay the first one down where it needs to be. And that way we can lay the other one straight down. So I'm going to come up just a little bit. You want to have room for your little hippo lady. Let's put it about at the grass line there. And we're going to pull it across tone. And voila, you have your barrels. I really like them done in the foil, that's pretty. Alright, let's grab some flowers to put in our barrels. I think I'll pour these out onto my sheet here so I have easy access. There we go. Alright, so I need 3 little grasses for the barrel. I'm just going to use glue to put them straight down. So you'll need 6 of the grass die cut. So we're going to put 3 per barrel. I'm putting it just, tucked kind of just under the ledge there. These little grasses that I have here are cut with old olive. You know, our old olive goes with everything. One more. Alright, let's add some flowers. Now, the 3 bigger flowers, let's pick out some of the big flowers here. Let's do pink. We have another large pink. We'll do mini dimensionals on the 3 larger flowers. Let's see where I put my dimensionals here. Okay. And I think they just like barely fit, but they fit. It's okay if a little bit of the white of the torrential shows. Just kind of add some contour to it, I would think. So we're going to randomly put these flowers on. So let's put a pink one in the middle here. And come up far enough that you can put a couple small flowers in there too. So we want a pink on the other side. And let's put it to the left over here. Now let's grab a couple blue. Both barrels will have the same color flowers, they're just going to be arranged differently. You probably caught on to that. Let's put one of these blue ones, let's do it here on the left. And this blue one, we'll put it in the center of this one. And one more big one each. Let's do the orange. Isn't it cool to have these already pre-cut out? It really makes kind of short work of it. And usually what I do is I take my mini Stampin' Cut machine and I set it up on a TV tray when I'm watching TV. And I just sit there and do die cuts. So let's put this orange on there. Here. Now let's add a couple of the smaller ones. Maybe we'll do a white flower. And we'll do the centers. What I do with the centers, I'm going to glue these straight down, is I usually use a white gel pen in the center, and then I can just use either Stampin' Right markers or Stampin' Blends to make the colored centers over the top of the white marker. Oops. Okay, let's put another white one. Let's put it about here. Oops. Stick to the finger. Okay, got a white one there. Let's grab a little yellow one. There's tucking, so we have a full pot of flowers here. This is the most time you'll spend is doing these little flowers during this cute little card. Just getting them all on takes longer than the whole card. But the detail in adding, embellishments and things. Attention to detail always. Oops, I already got yellow, so let's see if we can find a little red ones. There we go. You can even put embellishments in the center of these flowers versus, drawing the centers. And just put little clear embellishments or, rhinestones in there, which we might do. It'll be quicker. Alright, we have our little high wire, we have our bucket. Let me set these flowers aside so they don't disappear all over the floor. So we've got the majority of the card, we've got our little hippo. Now let's put her umbrella on her. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue on the handle here. And put it, oh, you know what, I'm going to add a little bit to the corner that's going to be touching her head. Just for a little extra strength. See there? Just going to put it right there and let that dry. Alright, we got our little bumblebee over here. And I And we'll glue him or her straight down. I'm gonna color the nose just a little bit blacker. There we go. Got our little Bumblebee. Now we're going to use a Wobbler. Aren't these fun? I'll put a link. I don't know where I got these. I want to say Hampton Art carries them. And they sure save you from trying to make your own. But they're just little springs. And they have adhesive on them. So let's take the adhesive off. I don't think it matters which part you put on the card and which part you put on your element, but I always use the bigger one on the element because the other one isn't as big and may not show as easily underneath the element. I'm trying to get this release paper off. There we go. Oh. Okay. So I'm going to take this little, and you just take it and put it in the center of your element, press it down, and now you'll take the release paper off of this side. Sometimes easier said than done. Apparently. There we go. So I'm going to take the release paper off there. And now we're going to set her. Oh. I'm going to place her where her little foot looks like it's sitting on the wire. And press her down. And voila, how cute is that? Now, oh, I forgot to put our greeting. This comes with a really cute greetings. You're so hip. Oh, you're really the best. Love you a ton. And you're always on point. To me, you're always on point seems to be her performing well. So we're going to put that greeting on there. I would highly suggest using your stamparatus for this. You don't want to have to mess up your stamped greeting when you've gone this far on the card. I'm just going to place. You could put it on a label or something if you wanted, but I'm doing it straight on because I don't want to take from her. I want her to be the star of the show. It is the wee hours of the morning, and I apologize if you can hear my baby girl snoring under the desk. Here, where I'm, right here, it's really loud to me, so I don't know, but my camera speaker's picking it up. Looky there. Alrighty then. And then I'm just going to take the white card base, and since we have so much dimension on this, I'm just going to glue it straight down. And I did this piece just an 1/8 inch larger than normal. So this image piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So it's just going to give us a really thin white border. There we go. How cute is she? Now, we want to put a little bit of accent on the grass. So let's grab our dark parakeet party, and I'm going to make shading where the sun's kind of shading off these barrels. I'm just going to go around them like that. and that creates a shadow. Let's make some, I need to go a little farther on that. There you go. Let's make some grass. All I'm going to do is take my bullet tip. I'm going to add some random grass here. All I'm doing is kind of little spriggly lines, maybe a couple long kicked in there. And that is it. You have your adorable little hippo on a high wire. I really hope you enjoyed today's class. And don't forget, Sale-A-Brations launches on the 1st of July. And you can get this adorable little hippo set. And 19 dies that come in there. Everything from water, hearts, party hats. So it will work for any occasion. I hope you have a very happy Stampin' Day, and thanks for joining me.